Hola, buenos dias. Oh, let's try that again. Alluvial Avenue campus. Hola, buenos dias. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Tim, and I have the great pleasure of serving as minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. My pronouns are he, him. I am delighted to welcome you to this place of spiritual welcome, and delighted also to wish each and every one of you a happy Pride Month. I want to give a shout out and welcome to everybody joining us on our virtual campus, everybody here on our Alluvial Avenue campus, including our wonderful Scarlett, and also for those who are joining us after the service, sometime in the next week, watching us on Facebook or YouTube. We're really glad that you're here. We are truly one congregation in many places. Our monthly worship theme is the path of delight. Today we explore the theme through our delight at welcoming several new members on this New Member Sunday. And our sermon will focus on change, both as a challenge and as an impetus to discover delightful new aspects of life. We acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue Church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts people, who are the past, present, and future stewards of this holy land. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe that an inclusive welcome is a spiritual practice. So I'm happy to say that you're welcome here no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. This is a safe place if you are part of the beautiful rainbow of diversity that includes those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, non-binary, or gender fluid. Your neurodiversity is welcome here. We also welcome you no matter your level of formal education, the amount of money that's in your bank account, or your disabilities. You're welcome with or without documentation. All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. If you are on our virtual campus and you want to share today a personal joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude, just text them to us at 559-209-4977. You can also type them into the chat box, but the thing is you have to do it now so we have time to gather them together, write it all down, and get it up to me so that I can share a little bit later in the service. And be sure to text us your name so we know who you are. Now, in our Alluvial Avenue campus, on our virtual campus, or in just the sacred silence of our own hearts, let's take a moment to say good morning, buenos dias, and greet one another. Buenos dias.
Thank you.
I invite us As we hear the sound of the tingsha, we let that sacred sound carry us to that place that is present in this moment, that place and state of being that we call the holy now.
One, two, three, four. When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call. I'll be there, yeah, yeah, yeah. You got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of cloud, that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon I will be knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, ain't it good to know that you got a friend? People can be so cold, they'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. Ah, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Got a friend. You got a friend. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know you got a friend?
Hello. Hello on the virtual campus as well. My name is Linda Tolliday. My pronouns are she, her. I serve gratefully on our worship arts team. If you want to join in our ritual lighting of the chalice today, please bring a candle or your chalice close to you on our virtual campus, as we'll be kindling the flame here in our Alluvial Avenue campus in just a moment. Our chalice lighting words come to us from the Reverend Andrew Pakula. Come into this circle of community. Come into this sacred space. Be not tentative, bring your whole self. Bring the joy that makes your heart sing. Bring your kindness and your compassion. Bring also your sorrow, your pain. Bring your brokenness and your disappointments. Spirit of love and mystery, help us to recognize the spark of the divine that resides within each of us. May we know the joy of wholeness. May we know the joy of being together. In that spirit, please light your chalice or candle at home. Tim, would you kindle the flame in our Alluvial Avenue chalice?
Linda, I would be happy to.
Our song of praise today is Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. And kids, if this is new to you, it's a fun song for us to sing because part of the song is this one clap we do in each verse. And it's gonna happen, there'll be a line that says, today will be a joyful day. And when you hear that, get ready, because it goes like this. Today will be a joyful day. Everybody's gonna clap along. All right, let's rise now in body or spirit and sing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, sir. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together our mission. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. To get us going on this new Member Sunday, we welcome James with our reading, Why You Want to Join a Unitarian Universalist Church. James was part of the last group of folks who became members back in December.
Good morning. My name is James Rolas. My pronouns are he, him. I serve gratefully here on the worship arts team. I have a reading here. Why you want to join a Unitarian Universalist church. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because it stands against superstition and fear, because it points to what's noblest and best in human life, because it's open to people of whatever race, color, creed, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because it has a free pulpit. You can hear ideas expressed here which would cost any other minister their jobs. And it's true. You want to You want to support it because it's a place where children can grow up without being saddled with guilt or terrified of eternal damnation, where they can learn that religion is for joy, for comfort, for gratitude, and for love. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because it's a place where walls between people are torn down rather than built up. Because it's a place for free thinkers and those who insist we must work out our own beliefs. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because it's more concerned with human beings than dogma. Because it is searching for the holy rather than dwelling on the depraved. Because it calls no one a sinner, yet knows how deep the struggle and how great the hunger for what is good. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because you realize there's something greater than your own individual wants and needs, and you want to be of service to it. Because you yearn to join with others to work for justice. Because you wish to experience community and connection. You want to join a Unitarian Universalist church because it insults neither your intelligence nor your conscience. And it calls us up to lift up what is truly worthy of our love. Thank you.
Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Patty Bennett. Good morning on this new member Sunday. I'm Patty Bennett and my pronouns are she, her. As this congregation's coordinator of congregational life, it is my great privilege to introduce 9 wonderful people who are choosing to become members of the Unitarian Universalist Church this morning. Not everyone is present this morning in our Alluvial Ave camp sanctuary, but they are with us in spirit or on our virtual campus.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Mark Wise. Good morning, I'm Mark Wise.
Mark, can you push the bottom?
It's on. Am I good?
No.
I'll yell it out. Hey, we good? We good? Now we good.
There we go.
Hey. Woo. Let's try that again. Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Mark Wise. Good morning, I'm Mark Wise. I serve gratefully as a member of the Board of Trustees, and I'm here representing the entire board.
If you are present on our Alluvial Avenue campus, we hope you will stand when you hear your name. And Cecily, who will be our new coordinator of community life, will bring you a rose. We ask you to remain standing for our entire welcome ceremony. If you are part of our virtual campus, we welcome you to stand in spirit or body. And Yvonne Free. Rachel Gennaro. Tony Gennaro. Up here. Tony's up here. Trinette Hackett. Stephen Hackett. Danny Hinn. Kathleen Lund. There she is. Cecily's getting her workout this morning. Christine Myers and her children Tegan and Declan, and Maggie Parker. So, round of applause for everybody, please.
As the one who serves gratefully as minister of this congregation, it is a true joy to welcome you into this community of memory and this community of hope. To each new member, I ask, will you walk together with us, sharing the joys and responsibilities of membership? Will you bring your hopes and enthusiasms, your questions and fears? In community with us, will you help us fulfill our mission to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice? If so, please say we will. We will. And now to the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, will you welcome these dear ones into our congregation? Will you be open to their unique gifts and perspectives and the change they will bring? If so, please speak these words of welcome with me as they appear on the screen. Welcome into this community of spirit, love, and justice. We join our strengths, talents, and commitment with yours. You are a part of us, and we are a part of you.
Becoming a member of this church is an important step, but it is only the first step. On behalf of the congregation, I charge you, new members, as well as our longer-term members, to grow in your Unitarian Universalist faith. I also charge you, as well as our longer-term members, to find and share your special gifts with us. Ours is a shared ministry. Each of us has a crucial role to play. We need you. We need your energy. We need your ideas. We need the gifts of your time and financial support. Give generously of yourselves, and your rewards will be great.
Each one of you brings light, vitality, and renewal. Each of our lights has a common source. And together we form a beacon of hope to each other and to our wounded and beautiful world. May your light shine brightly among us for many years to come.
In that spirit, from both our Alluvial Avenue campus and our virtual campus, let us offer our warm applause to the newest members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno.
Okay, so our next new members Sunday will be November 12th, but you can always join anytime privately. Just speak with or send an email to Patty Bennett, our coordinator of community life, or Cecily Callahan, our incoming coordinator of community life. Come join us on this shared spiritual adventure.
And in that adventure, let's sing our kids as they head off to their spirit explorations.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We hold you in our
All the kids.
love as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
So I invite us to take in a nice, deep, centering breath. And as we do, we imagine that we are breathing in peace. We hold a moment. Let's breathe out love into the world. And again, a nice, centering breath, breathing in peace. We hold a moment. We breathe out love. One last time, breathing in together, we breathe in peace, pause, we hold, we breathe out love, amor. As we continue breathing together in this space made sacred by our beautiful and imperfect humanity, I invite you to imagine that that breath carries you back over the last week, the last 7 days of living, knowing that you've had a gift of those 7 days, and not everyone who started this week did. And as we breathe, 2 questions. What was the most challenging aspect of last week? What in the last week uplifted your spirit? We create space in our lives, but also in our shared time together, to acknowledge that within us and among us are a complex mix of emotions, of joys, of sorrows, of gratitude, and I think a lot of concern. Some of us text those thoughts, those feelings in to us with the cell phone. Others stop at the small table that rests at the entrance to our Alluvial Ave sanctuary. Writes down on a small card, this is just a little of what is alive within us today. Darcy is feeling grateful and joyful to summer for teachers and students who need the break, and loving care to those who find safety at school. Jim Kernan is feeling grateful for the that laws of our nation sometimes do very good things. We have a gratitude from Carrie for the life of my Uncle Jerry, who passed yesterday. He introduced me to the Unitarian Universalist faith. I love him. We hold your Uncle Jerry in our thoughts and prayers. Deborah is feeling sorrow at the sudden passing of Elaine C.M., a sweet soul and dear friend since 7th grade. A nurse raising 3 kids on her own and a horse lover involved in equine therapy. She will be missed. We also have a sorrow. It's been a year since I became disposable, unwanted, and unloved. I'm on a path of healing. It's a day-to-day journey. I'm beginning my sense of self-worth, my understanding that I am a good person. I feel that with gratitude, and I'm grateful for the blessings of some friends and this Unitarian Universalist congregation for understanding, acceptance, and love. And we send love right back to you. And Ida on our virtual campus is sharing gratitude to Jamie for the time spent together in Elk Grove. We also remember all those beloveds who are unable to be with us today. We lift up Margaret H., Bev F., Glenda R., Pat M., and Babs E. We continue our celebration of Caribbean American Heritage Month, as well as our celebration of Pride Month, and we especially acknowledge the 3rd annual flag raising of the Progress Pride flag at City Hall this past Friday. But we temper this celebration in the news that the Human Rights Campaign, which is the largest LGBTQ political lobbying organization within the United States, for the first time ever have officially declared a state of emergency for LGBTQ+ people in the United States of America. Following an unprecedented and dangerous spike in anti-LGBTQ+ legislative assaults sweeping state houses this year, more than 75 anti-LGBTQ bills have been signed into law this year alone, more than doubling last year's number, which was the previous worst year on record. And so, in the midst of all that has been shared, and in the silence of all those things we're holding today, in the beauty of our own hearts, we light our candle of community. And in the light of this flame, we join our voices gently, we join our voices quietly with our call to meditation. Comfort me, consuélame.
3, 4.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
Consuélame, 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 oh mi alma. Consuélame, 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 oh mi alma.
Speak to me, speak to me, speak to me, oh my soul. Speak to me, speak to me, speak to me, oh my soul.
Háblame, 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 oh mi alma. Háblame, 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 oh mi alma.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. When I was a child each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. And he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread. And everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water's rare at best, it barely wets my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven second rate hand me down. But I'm walking with the reverend here, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven second rate, hand me down. But I walk it with the reverend here, 'cause everything is holy now.
Our short poem this morning is by writer and activist Adrienne Marie Brown. She titled it Spell for Reclaiming the Moment. Even now, in this holy now, we could be happy. Even now, breathing in, filling our bodies with right now, from the dirt below us, from our toes to our knees, hips up to our spines, shoulders to earlobes, the tip top of our heads to beyond to the stars. Breathing wide across our wingspan into that sacred and constant silk web where we belong. Breathing deep, inhale back to great-grandmother's bosom, exhale 7 generations of blessings that will come through our next choices. Even now, we can be present. Even now, life is right here, even now. Even now, we can anticipate harvest, be shocked by the thunderclap, the storm, laugh at the abundance of our grief and our earnest attempt to avoid the inevitable. We are a delight. We could be another's blessing with our brief and epic lives, where every day we are given the option of love, even now. Here ends our reading. Danielle, I'm thinking it's time for us all to sing with you. So rise, embody your spirit. Let's rock the house. Lean on me. Yeah. Please be seated. Woo. It is my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this morning. For many of you, you know her well. Others of us will be meeting her for the first time. Linda Tolliday is a beloved and esteemed leader in this congregation. Among many of her roles include serving as board president, serving as chair of our worship arts team, and one of my favorite roles, she was co-chair of the search committee that found me and invited me to come to Fresno. She is an accomplished and devoted teacher of young people, has given her life to that and the pursuit of science. Life has brought an unexpected change to Linda. Life has brought her new love, and a new adventure is about to unfold tomorrow morning when she moves to Bishop with Steve. And so I invited Linda to reflect on the many years she has been a member of this church and how she has changed over the years. Please welcome Linda Tolliday.
I'm cut off from the typical support of family and friends that most new mothers get to enjoy. The women on this support board were really nice. They gushed over every milestone. They were sweet. They were kind. They praised God and Jesus for this new miracle in their lives. And by praise, I mean their response to anything shared by anyone tended to be, praise the Lord. 50 women giving God attaboys for whatever they or their babies achieved. It was a lovely place for them. It wasn't the right place for me. But while on that website, I discovered an online group called Atheist Parenting. Aha! Okay, so on that board, I found a group of women who were really nice and gushed over every milestone, but attributed those milestones to human development and worked together to figure out how to raise children in a society where belief in God is the given, but it wasn't shared by us. Every couple of weeks, one of those very nice women from the original mothers group, or one just like it, would also discover there was a board called Atheist Parenting and decide they needed to intervene strictly for the sake of the children. Of course, they would come into our safe space and proceed to explain we were damning our children to eternal hellfire. Consequently, we got really good at a rather new sort of activity, one I enjoy to this day, arguing with strangers on the internet. Pretty soon, it became clear I usually had a partner in these discussions, a poster who went by the name of Secular Mom. She was a humanist with a son just a little older than my son, and I found out a little later that she was living here in Central California. Over the next few years, as I moved to Pakistan, and then the events of September 11th brought my children and I back to California, Secular Mom and I stayed in touch. She began telling me about a church she had found, a church where she was accepted, where her lack of belief in God wasn't a hindrance, and where her son found other kids who didn't tell him he was going to hell. One Sunday morning in 2005, 10 years after meeting her on the internet, I finally met Secular Mom in person when I first walked into the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, the spiritual home she had found. Those of you who belonged to the church back then knew Secular Mom well, if not under that name. It was the lovely June Riley. Mike's still with us in the band. That first day I attended church in our sweet little redwood building over on Millbrook, was memorable for many reasons beyond that incredible opportunity to actually connect with June in person. Then Reverend Brian Jessup was preaching that day. I don't remember the topic, but the church was under the flight pattern of the Air Guard, and true confession, my dad used to be squadron commander at the Air Guard, so I always have mixed feelings about this one. But I remember Brian stopping, slamming the pulpit and saying, we're a part of it. We're part of this military complex. We have responsibility too. There was this band that played incredible music, and after the service, there was a meeting to further discuss the purchase and construction and move to this property, which was then in the planning stages. I asked if I could stay and was told I'd be more than welcome. The intentionality of everyone in that meeting, even during fairly heated discussions over some issue or another, was very impressive. People clearly liked each other. And so I came back. And I came for myself. I hear people talk about joining a church so their children have a spiritual grounding. That wasn't my motivation in coming to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno on a Sunday morning. Being here spoke to me. Pretty soon I did bring my kids, though. I was divorced at the time, and coming to church the weekends I didn't have my children. Their father began taking them to a church where they were told their good thoughts come from God and their bad thoughts come from the devil. My Benji, then about 9, said, Mom, it's ridiculous. It's like they've never heard of personal responsibility. And so I invited the boys to accompany me to a church that did, in fact, make you personally responsible for your own thoughts. Not only did they get to avoid attending a church they weren't fond of, but my kids and later my stepchildren loved being part of the children's and later youth groups here at the church. They particularly enjoyed the middle school neighboring faiths program, where kids from the church went every month to a different faith tradition here in the valley and learned about it, attended services. They were very fond of their high school YRUU friendships. Mitch, my oldest son, went to summer camp in Big Bear, meeting other UU teens from all over California. And he attended the first Social Justice Unitarian Universalist General Assembly in Phoenix, Arizona. My stepdaughter Alexandria went with the youth group to GA in Portland years later. For those of you who were here last week to see the beautiful tradition that is our bridging ceremony, Mitch bridged with Minister Brian Jessup. Ben bridged with Sophia Betancourt, who will this week or next be elected the president of the entire Unitarian Universalist Association, served here for 2 years as an interim minister. And then Alexandria bridged in the first year or so after we called Reverend Tim. A lot of change in those days for us. But I titled this sermon, Don't Be Afraid of Some Change. I better get to that part. I want to frame the changes I've been through during my time at this church using 3 common UU aphorisms. What we know about God is a piece of the truth. This church needs your time, talent, and treasure. And we need not think alike to love alike. What we know about God is a piece of the truth. When I first attended church here, I was not just an atheist. I could probably be labeled an anti-theist, and I was obnoxious with it. I struggled with any language we used that was shared by other faith traditions. I was offended if asked to pray, if told to have faith. Even the term church bothered me. And I wasn't alone. At the time, the church had a few of us who really didn't deal well with religious language. Some, like me, were unchurched. Others had perhaps been wounded by the faith traditions they came from. So the phrase common in the children's program, what we know about God is a piece of the truth, was difficult for me. I thought it presupposed the existence of God, and I didn't know why that was the default position. Very early on in my church attendance, I heard the Reverend Brian Jessup say something that really struck me. He said, "We are heretics." From the Greek heretikos, meaning able to choose, and he always added, and responsible for the choice. So if heretic doesn't necessarily mean what I thought it meant, maybe the same is true for other typically religious terms. Take the term worship. When I joined the Worship Associates, as our worship arts team used to be called, I was curious why we used the term, why we called Sunday services worship services when we weren't worshiping God as a centerpiece of that sermon, of that service. At Worship Associates training, we defined worship as worth shaping, its original meaning. I don't have to worship something else to want to work at shaping my own worth and hoping to offer something that helps other folks in shaping their worth as well. Or the word faith. I don't have faith that a higher power will step in and affect my life, but I absolutely do have faith. Things I believe based not on my scientist mind's need for evidence, but based on what I feel and think. I have faith in my friends, in my family, in love, that people are basically good, most of them anyway. For me, faith isn't passive, though. It's something I do. It's something I work at. There's still those moments. One summer, Lorenzo suggested a service on international adoption, as he knew a couple living near him who had adopted children from China and Vietnam. I volunteered to lead the service because that couple happened to be very dear friends of mine. During the development of the service, I found a song I sent to Lorenzo I thought would be good. He agreed to use it. Thank you, Lorenzo. It was the tale of a woman who'd given her daughter up for adoption at 3 days old because she didn't think she could provide for this young person and she wanted her to have a better life. Lorenzo asked Bernadette Planting to sing the song. What neither of us knew was that Bernadette had been given up for adoption at 3 days old by her mother, who wanted her to have a better life because she couldn't provide for her. Just a few weeks after my first Sunday attending church, it was the annual church picnic, then held at Woodward Park. I knew almost no one. I went anyway, and Babs Eskin made sure I met lots and lots of people while I was there. Lorenzo and Mike Riley and some others were playing music in a circle, and I sat next to this woman and started chatting with her, and she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a middle school science teacher, but I'm looking for a position." And she said, "That's funny. I'm a middle school science teacher, and my school is looking for someone." I said, "Where do you work?" And she said, "Thomas Jefferson in Madera." I said, "I'm interviewing Tuesday." We didn't disclose that we knew each other. Sorry if anyone from TJ is watching. And I spent 17 years working in Madera Unified with Deanna Lockling as a dear friend. Those kind of coincidences don't make me believe in mysterious supernatural forces at work, but they do remind me of our faith's seventh principle, the interconnected web of all existence of which we are a part, which my son Mitch once rather facetiously dubbed the world's longest name for God. And I guess that brings me back to what I know about God is a piece of the truth after all. 2, this church needs your time, talent, and treasure. And you folks that joined today heard a version of that. You'll hear it a lot, I promise. All of us know that phrase. When I first attended this church, I grew up unchurched. I knew nothing about what it meant to be part of a church community. I didn't know how a church was organized. I didn't know how it was run. I didn't know how it was financed. I didn't know anything. I didn't understand how time, talent, and treasure applied to me. After all, I was new. I was a single working mom. I was a teacher. It wasn't like I had a lot of time or money. And I wasn't a musician or something like that, so I didn't think talent applied either. I really didn't get it. My first involvement with the church was small but vital. I showed up on Sunday mornings. Please do. After a while, okay, maybe 2 weeks, someone approached me and asked if I'd like to serve coffee on a Sunday morning. And I did that for a while. I was a greeter in my first year, and I can still remember my embarrassment after I cheerfully asked one of the church's venerable, beloved elder founding members if they were new that Sunday. They were very nice. I've taught our whole lives, our UU human sexuality curriculum, led midweek youth hangout time, taught summer experiences, been involved in chalice circles, participated in adult religious education. I signed up to light the chalice one Sunday. I still remember walking up terrified to speak in front of everyone. But speaking here turns out to be my passion, and it didn't take me long to become part of the Worship Associates team. I still remember our first day training. We were told about various tasks and levels of involvement in crafting worship, from being a sort of background person who makes sure everything's where it needs to be, to lay leading, which is what I do when Reverend Tim's not here, and you put together all the elements of service, except, of course, Lorenzo's fabulous music, but you work with Lorenzo. It's the more involved job. So, you start with the behind-the-scenes tasks, naturally, as you do in any organization. We had a guest speaker coming up who was going to be speaking on mental health, a topic near and dear to my heart, so I volunteered to do that background work. And immediately was told I should lead the service. I was new enough to the church that I didn't recognize that people here tend to believe you can do far more than you think you can. So when you volunteer for something, they help you rapidly increase your commitment regardless of what you originally may have thought you were getting yourself into. So a lot of people nodding. After a couple of these services were under my belt, I was approached to chair Sunday Services Committee. I was deeply flattered. That's another thing they use, by the way. And then it was, will you serve on the board and chair the worship arts team? And the congregation believes you are a trusted individual. Will you serve on the ministerial search committee? To the newest members of the church that joined us today, bless you for being with us. I'm not saying your once-a-month commitment to greeting or coffee is going to turn into a year-long, multiple time a week and most weekend stint on a ministerial search committee, but you never know. Mostly, you need to know what I didn't. This church needs whatever time you have, large or small. Whatever treasure you can give, large or small, they'd prefer large. And that your talents may be in areas you haven't discovered yet, so try things out and see what calls to you. Lastly, we need not think alike to love alike. This one's tricky. I mean, intellectually, we all know this is true. But really, shouldn't we mostly be thinking alike? We all affirm and promote the same 7, maybe 8 principles. We all went through classes or at least talks about what Unitarian Universalism is. There are a lot of values that if we didn't share, we'd not be here in this church in the first place. So we do think alike about many things. But that doesn't translate to thinking alike about everything. In fact, there are any number of witticisms about how many Unitarian Universalists it takes to reach agreement about everything and how famously fond we are of forming committees. And it turns out we can feel as passionately that we are correct about the tiny things we don't agree on as other folks can feel about major issues they don't agree about. Nowhere is that more evident than a committee meeting. And the more vital the task is, the more evident and critical those differences of opinions can be. I believe part of that is because we chose this faith tradition, we decided to be part of this church community, we did a lot of discernment and possibly a lot of church shopping before we settled on coming here. And I think that makes us more vested in our opinions than we might otherwise be when it comes to this church. It becomes harder to envision that folks who made most of the same decisions we already made won't agree with us about the rest. And when we don't, most of us are really good at articulating our position. Really, really good. We aren't as good at listening to the position of others, and perhaps worse at being willing to back down from a stance after we've firmly planted our flagpole. After all, we aren't the problem. It's obviously the rest of you. It ends up being up to folks in church leadership to help us reduce our need to be utterly and completely right about everything. I mentioned I'd chaired any number of committees, served as president of the board, co-chaired our ministerial search committee. Herding cats, feral cats, has fallen under my task list more than a few times. In the process of intentionally working with groups, putting procedures in place to ensure the quiet folks get heard and the loudest folks allow others to speak, and that the squeaky wheel isn't the only one getting greased, working to ensure an entire group listens to one another, it turns out you really have to listen yourself. Consequently, my work in church leadership has led to me being a person others ask to facilitate difficult groups or help restore broken relationships. For someone who was fairly and reasonably nicknamed High Empress Tolliday in high school when I worked as an assistant director for drama productions, that's a significant shift. Friday was my last day teaching, ending 39 years in the classroom. Tomorrow, I move to Bishop, California, so it's all about transitions for me right now. I've been part of this church community for 17 years. In those years, I've learned to reframe religious language into language I can not only tolerate, but use to connect with those who have different faiths and faith traditions. I've learned how to find my passions and serve even when not passionately committed because the greater community needs it. I've learned how to tone down my own ego and listen to others so that we can move forward together. I have grown so very much in the 17 years with this church, and I want to tell you how much I'll miss you and to thank you. Thank you for believing in me more than I believed in myself. Thank you for holding me to high standards. Thank you for pushing me to do more. Thank you for the space to grow, for the grace you've given when I often stumbled at those growing edges, when I've been unskillful in my communications, when I've been less than I aspire to be. I'm going to end with one of Reverend Tim's favorite sources for inspiration, connection, and rejuvenation, a Broadway musical. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. Because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you.
My childhood days, I was young and strong. I could climb a hillside all day long. I am not the same as what I used to be, 'cause time has made a change in me. Yeah, time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smile I move away to that land somewhere, spending time with loved ones over there. Memories of this place there will always be, 'cause time has made a change in me. Yeah, time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And I know my friends can plainly see that time has made a change in me. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And I know my friends can plainly see that time has made a change in me.
On the second Sunday of every month, we hold a special offering for a social justice organization that is in alignment with our Unitarian Universalist religious values. Today, we will be meeting and having the opportunity to be as generous as our circumstances permit to Enough Gun Violence, Brady Central, Fresno, Greater Fresno. To tell us about this organization is one of my favorite people in Fresno, a good friend as well as a colleague, Deacon Nancy Key from St. James Episcopal Cathedral. And I can say that Deacon Nancy is committed to her beautiful, beautiful Christian faith. And she is someone, when she asks, what would Jesus do? She does what Jesus would do. So it is please welcome Deacon Nancy.
You think it's your Reverend Tim. He's my friend. So, first of all, just a few numbers. As of yesterday, there have been 18,800 gun deaths in the U.S. 15% of those have been children 17 and younger. About 56.5% of those have been self-inflicted. And 3/4 of all gun deaths are by someone who is in your family or whom you know. So about a year ago, there was, you might remember, there was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, and another one in Uvalde. After those mass killings, again, they only represent less than 1%, but we at St. James Episcopal Cathedral were stunned and compelled to do some sort of action. So we held a meeting at the end of June. From the very beginning, it was a grassroots, community-based, interfaith action that we wanted to do. And several of you in this room were actually there, I believe. And we started by making a steering committee. And that steering committee includes Sharon Bell Stevens, who is one of our most wonderful members, yes, who has become a very good friend as well. And we formed 3 different focus areas. The first one was legislative, which Sharon is super involved with. The second one was mental health, focusing very much on suicides. And the third was social disparities, because the communities who are disinvested, communities who are of high ethnic diversity, communities who are are set aside by their own communities. In those communities, someone who is living there is 17 times more likely to be shot by gun homicides. So that is an important committee, and the very alignment of all communities who are socially disinvested and who are set aside by their own communities, those are the ones that are likely to experience gun violence. So after that public event, we held 2 more educational events during 2022. This year, in March, we decided to affiliate with Brady United Against Gun Violence as Enough Gun Violence Brady Greater Fresno, because we cover not just Fresno, but also the counties that are surrounding Fresno. The reason we affiliated with Brady is because, first of all, it increases our credibility and our name recognition. Also, we have access to all of their wonderful initiatives, so we can join in on the legislative work that Brady does, which is huge, both on national and state issues. And also, we have access to their training. So I proudly wear my Brady United t-shirt here today, as does Sharon, and her husband Dave is wearing the orange one because June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. So Brady also gives us educational support and training. What's next for us? We have an event coming up July 22nd. You'll be hearing more about it and hopefully having flyers here at your church. It will be speakers who will be giving us education on gun violence, and we will be creating awareness in the general community about gun violence. When other issues come up, like for example, the Apple issue, it takes only a few people, less than 200, to die from this for our nation to do something about it. Gun violence, as of today, as I said, 18,800 Americans have died. Let's do something about it, and thank you so much for your support.
In this spirit, please join in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Here's a slide showing ways that you can share. We will also have baskets at the exit door, and you can drop your cash, checks, or credit cards in those. You're also invited to make a contribution through Cash App at $UU Fresno. Every dollar raised today will support Enough Gun Violence, Brady Greater Fresno. Thank you in advance for those who are able to say yes and help. So, as we prepare to end our service, I first just want to take a moment. Danielle, where did Danielle? Is Dan? Yes, please come back on up so we can appreciate you. A couple months ago, when we hired Danielle as our new administrative assistant, we had no idea about this voice, and it is such a gift, and we appreciate that you share it with us. And we want to appreciate as well Stolen Thunder and Lorenzo. So as we prepare to end our service and enter into the afternoon, I've invited Linda to extinguish the chalice, and let's join together in our chalice extinguishing words, led from our virtual campus by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
And I do have just a few brief reminders. As we have said, Patty Bennett, who served the last 7 years as our coordinator of community life, is retiring in July. We will have a celebration on July 2nd, but I am so happy to again introduce you to Cecily Callahan, our incoming coordinator of community life. Come on up, come on up. So this is your new go-to person if you are new or newish and you want to find ways to be connected here in the church. Welcome, welcome to our staff team. As we exit the sanctuary, we'll allow our socially distanced folks to exit first, and then we can head out through these doors. Linda will be there, and you can say hello to her outside as well. Coffee hour is happening in the quad, and we also have, for those of us who are new or newish, we have a question and answer table with a board member. Just look for the I can't say the word. The almost blue turquoise. There we go. Tablecloth outside the doors. Next Sunday is our food offering, food pantries that assist families in the El Dorado Park neighborhood and families at Valley Children's Hospital. Current needs are tuna and canned vegetables and any food that could be microwaved, as well as snacks like granola bars and fruit and vegetable cups. The ushers will have slips of paper with what is needed on them. Please take them and bring that food if you're able next week. Lastly, of our reminders before we introduce our visitors, can I just see a show of hands? How many of you feel that social justice or a more equitable Fresno is important to you? Okay. If you would like to be part of the change that is needed, I encourage you to come to the Central Valley IAF meeting at our church 2 Wednesdays from today, the 21st of June from 6 to 7:30. You will see and be part of our Unitarian Universalist 8th principle in action as the Central Valley IAF is building its organizational work for justice for all peoples of Fresno. It's a collaboration of many different faith communities, congregations, unions, advocacy groups, and nonprofits. I'm glad that we'll be hosting that meeting, and we hope that some folks will come and check it out. It's a great way to see what this emerging organization is all about. Last, Danielle, but not least, we like to welcome folks who are here for the first, second, or third time. We do it not to embarrass you, but we're genuinely glad that you're with us this morning. So if this is your first, second, or third time, and you're feeling brave enough, could you just rise for a moment? We won't leave you standing alone for long. Welcome, welcome, it's great. Welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them for our closing words and sung benediction. Please, if you're comfortable doing so, join hands. If not, please just place your hands over your heart. I offer this benediction for all of us, but especially for our new church members, as well as our departing Linda. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. Take your love from this place, share it with the world and with Bishop, and may the longtime sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and that pure, pure light that is within you guide your way on. Blessed be. Amen.
2, 3.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love, go in peace.
Shalom.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum.
2, 3, 4.